Johnny Cash's 72nd studio album is here. Songwriter, rumored to be much more of a retrospective sound than the American recording albums. Is that true or not? Either way, is this milestone album worth checking out? It's been a very long 10 years since Out Among the Stars. When that came out, I remember hearing that there were hundreds, maybe even thousands of unreleased Johnny Cash songs. I assume they're spacing them out to keep them going forever, but it would be nice to get one every 3 or 4 years if there is indeed thousands of songs out there, or even hundreds. Hello Out There is a sobering opening tune about our planet Earth losing value. The songs contained on this record were compiled in 1993, but recorded at various times and decades from the 1970s moving forward. And this opener, it's a good enough song. It gets me excited to hear more unearthed tunes, be them new to my ears or older than them. Spotlight really changes up what I've come to expect from a Johnny Cash instrumental, be it old or new. And I'm not sure, actually I am sure. I'm sure that Johnny Cash himself has never heard these orchestral flourishes that create the bulk of Spotlight, but its blues guitar and smoky atmosphere make it one of the most dangerous songs that Johnny Cash has recorded or sang on. And Dan from the Black Keys doing the guitars, and a very much a big fan of what he does on this. Man, I love that smoky, bluesy guitar. Drive On and Like a Soldier have appeared on previous Johnny Cash albums, but are put through this filter that John Carter Cash and David Ferguson have performed across the entirety of this collection. They took the 1993 demos and peeled them back to just Johnny Cash on vocal and guitar, and replaced whatever other band elements with a completely new band that includes David Rowe and the Marty Stewart of Marty Stewart fame. It feels faithful to something that Johnny Cash would put his stamp on, so I don't really have a big issue with the AI or the newly implemented parts or the bands that some people may have a problem with. Leave a comment on your feelings of regarding the artificial intelligence or changing the band members, things like that. Jangly pianos and lap steel guitars partner and swell on I Love You Tonight. It's one of those songs that just builds the face of Mrs. Johnny Cash in my mind, and it's just blown. They are a couple that never settled down and are still being celebrated for their itchy feet in 2024, and that's something we should smile about, people. Let's just give each other a big hug. And you know what? That is not all that we have to celebrate. Not at all. Sir Waylon Jennings is backing up Johnny Cash on this song. So this is definitely one to check out just for that alone. And it's just a great song. I Love You Tonight. The track following I Love You Tonight is Well, All Right. And this is bound to be my favorite off of the entire record. This is an earwig that just crawled into my brain with an immediate charm and humor, and it'll be one of my most played songs of 2024, which is weird considering that it will be amongst strange company like Green Day or The Offspring. But hey, I love Slipnot. I love Johnny Cash. Hell, I had some Tom MacDonald in my listening earlier this week, and I only feel 2%, maybe 3% guilty for the Tom MacDonald listen. His song Me Versus You is kind of catchy. I like it. But nobody's making Johnny Cash sound like Corey Taylor of Slipknot or Tom MacDonald. So that's really good. I know that none of us would enjoy that. I mean, I like some weird stuff to happen in my music, but that would be pushing it, right? That we don't want Johnny Cash coming out with like artificial intelligence tattoos on his face and rapping about the left versus the right. just be really freaking weird. Now, if he were to be added into Slipknot as a virtual reality singer, I think maybe enough is enough, right? Maybe I should just shut the heck up and review this album now. Well, Alright is like many of the songs on Songwriter that feels very inspired by June Carter Cash. Whether that is the real backstory of the song or not, her spirit is all over this record, and I think that gives a sense of authenticity, because I'm pretty sure that Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash, they would approve this record. Maybe with a few different things, or maybe they would have said no to a few small parts of this, but overall I think this is something that Johnny Cash would have been proud of, and his living family is proud of, because they worked on this as well. And that's something we're going to talk about now. The features. You know, we've talked about features, and we're going to talk about more features. Johnny Cash's daughter-in-law, Anna Christina Cash, does backing vocals on these songs, adding another layer of authenticity. And while there are about 17 pairs of hands, faithful hands, working on this album to make it sound as spectacular as it does, Vince Gill is probably the biggest name, an A-lister, giving his joyful blessings to the song Poor Valley Girl. Sweet Baby James took me a couple of listens to get. I didn't like it at first. Its first swing didn't quite get its hooks inside of me, in my body. It's a slow burner, but it's well worth the effort to get inside of, and to get inside you and enjoy it properly. It's good, it just takes a little bit of time. It's a slow burner, but it's well worth it. It's a nice addition to this record. It definitely changes up the sonic balance of the songs that we get here. Johnny Cash's Songwriter album, his 72nd, ends with Sing It Pretty Sue and Like a Soldier. We had to get a Sue song on here, right? Woohoo! So that is a superb ending to this 5 out of 5 record. Like a Soldier is 5 out of 5 sequencing, because as Johnny Cash fans, we'll probably have to wait for the 73rd Johnny Cash album until the 2030s, over 100 years after Johnny Cash was born. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and liking and sharing and all that good stuff. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much.